Hello friends, today's topic is brachial plexus. Brachial plexus is the network of the nerve that provides the movement of the upper limb, arm, shoulder joint, pectoral region and the back. There are 5 parts of the brachial plexus: root, trunk, division, cord and branches. Roots are arising from the spinal cord. C5, C6, C7, C8 and T1 are arising from the spinal cord. Little contribution by the C4 and T2. Trunk. C5 and C6 unite to form the upper trunk. C7 form the middle trunk. C8 and T1 unite to form the lower trunk. Now, divisions. Trunks are divided into 2 parts. Dorsal divisions known as posterior division and the ventral division known as the anterior division. Here we can see this green line is a dorsal division and the pink line is a ventral division. All the dorsal division are unite to form the posterior cord, and the ventral division of the upper trunk and middle trunk is unite to form the lateral cord. Ventral division of the lower trunk is form the medial cord. Now there is 3 cords: posterior cord, lateral cord and medial cord. Now we are discussing about the branches of the brachial plexus. Posterior cord is dividing into 5 branches, lateral cord is dividing into 3 branches and medial cord is dividing into 5 branches. Branches of the posterior cord. Upper subscapular nerve, which supplies the subscapularis muscle. Lower subscapular nerve, which supplies the teres major muscles and also helps to upper subscapular nerve. Now to latissimus dorsi, known as thoracodorsal nerve, which supplies the latissimus dorsi muscles. Axillary nerve, which supplies the deltoid muscles and teres minor muscles. And the last was radial nerve, which supplies the triceps brachii and the 12 muscles of the on the back of the forearm. Branches of the lateral cord. Lateral pectoral nerve, which supplies the pectoralis major muscle and pectoralis minor muscle. Musculocutaneous nerve, which supplies the coracobrachialis, biceps brachii, brachialis muscles. Median nerve. Median nerve is formed by the lateral root of the lateral cord and the medial root of the medial cord. Both these branches are united to form the median nerve, which supplies the muscles of the thenar eminence. Branches of the medial cord. Median nerve, median pectoral nerve, which supplies the pectoralis major and pectoralis minor muscles. Median cutaneous nerve of arm, which carries the sensory impulses from the small areas of the medial side of the arm. Medial cutaneous nerve of the forearm, which carries the sensory impulses from the large area of the medial side of the forearm. And the last was ulnar nerve, which supplies the 1.5 muscle of the front of forearm and 5 intrinsic muscles of the palm. There is another branches arising from the root and the trunk. Upper trunk gives out 2 branches. Now to subclavius, which supplies the subclavius muscle, and suprascapular nerve, which supplies the supraspinatus and infraspinatus. Now the branches of the root. Phrenic nerve, which arising from the C4. Now to rhomboidus, which arising from the C5. Branches to longus colli and scalene muscle, which is arising from the C5, C6, C7 and C8. Now to serratus anterior, which is arising from the C5, C6 and C7. Now we are discussing about the root value of these branches. All these branches of the posterior cord is having C5 and C6 root value, but there is an exception. Now to latissimus dorsi is having C6 and C8 root value, and the radial nerve is having C5, C8 and T1 root value. Branches of the lateral cord is having same root value, C5 and C7. Now the branches of the medial cord is having the C8 and T1 root value, but there is also an exception. Ulnar nerve is having C7, C8 and T1 root value. Thank you. Short trick to memorize the branches of the brachial plexus. Branches of the posterior cord is memorized by the word ulnar. U stands for the upper subscapular nerve, L stands for the lower subscapular nerve, N stands for the nerve to latissimus dorsi, A stands for axillary nerve, R stands for radius nerve. Now the branches of the lateral cord is memorized by the LMM. L stands for lateral pectoral nerve, M stands for musculocutaneous nerve, M stands for the medial nerve. And the branches of the medial cord is memorized by the UMMMM. M stands for the median nerve, M stands for the medial pectoral nerve, M stands for the medial cutaneous nerve of arm, M stands for the medial cutaneous nerve of forearm, and the U stands for the ulnar nerve.